Let's have a nice, civil discussion on pedophilia.
Okay, I guess this is what we're talking about now. Oh God. Okay, well, before we jump into this fucking mess, I need to explain a few things. Now, first, this dude I'm going to be responding to is 19-year-old Amos Yee. He is a YouTuber who fled from Singapore for his opinions and criticisms towards religion and their government, specifically after the death of first Prime Minister of Singapore Lee Kuan Yew back in 2015. Amos gained a lot of support from other YouTubers spreading the word of his situation, especially early this November when he made a resurgence video in which he talks about getting out of prison after 10 months.
For the few people who don't know what happened to me, I was arrested in my authoritarian country of origin, Singapore, for criticizing religion and the Singapore government. And so I escaped here to the United States to gain safety and free speech, only to be put in American jail for 10 months. Why? Because the immigration system in America treats every individual who flees their country and asks for help in America as a threat before they prove that they aren't.
I'll link that video as well as the rest in the description so you guys can watch them. Now, I wanted to bring this up to note what happened to him with Singapore has no real bearing to what's happening now and what he's advocating for. That being said, why pedophilia is all right. I'll repeat that. Why pedophilia is all right. Did I fail to mention this guy was supposed to speak at Harvard University? Yeah, at Harvard. He was pulled from it because of his comments on this. He's advocated for this before. Almost a year ago, Andy Warski made a video about this.
Child porn is not rape. Children can give consent to fucking. If you can provide evidence that all child porn is non-consensual, show it. I can't believe I'm about to debate why child porn should be illegal. If you asked me a week ago, and you went, Andy, like in 1 week, you're gonna debate why child porn should be illegal? I'm like, that's a good one, Jeffrey. Child porn is not rape? What the fuck are you talking about, Amos?
So I think I can see why Harvard decided, yeah, no. Fuck, man, we're really going to delve into this. Just so you know, this video, I promise you, will make you mad. It's fucking bad. It's really bad. I'm not exaggerating here. Not only that, he has follow-up videos to these, so yeah, we're gonna look at them. So just a quick warning to fans of mine watching this who have kids.
Don't let your kids watch it!
Cause this dude, oh boy, let's just start the video.
I've made videos and tweets about this topic before, but I don't think that the points I made previously will be as clear as the ones that I will make in this video. And also at that time, I went around calling everyone a fascist for those who disagree with me. Yeah, I don't think I should have done that. It seems pretty dickish.
Well, at least you learned your lesson about one thing. Like, yeah, calling people who disagree with you fascists is stupid, okay? We kinda already knew that, but go ahead.
So if people want to most accurately represent my position on this issue, cite this video. Take this video as a far better draft too. Let's begin.
Okay, good, neat, will do. I am citing this video. I will use it in order to respond to what you have to say. I'll try my best to be civil, no promises, but, well, I am watching a video called Why Pedophilia is Alright, so yeah, expect me to get fucking loud at points.
First, we need to agree on just one thing, that sexual abuse is not determined by age, but instead on whether or not the relationship involves consent.
And there you have it, 13 seconds into your actual starting points, and already we have a problem. Children, minors, cannot consent to such things until they reach the proper age to consent to it. Doing otherwise is very misleading and misinforming, not to mention manipulating to a child that doesn't know what the meaning of consent is. Making them think that doing things that young with an older person, an authority figure that initiates it, is normal, and it simply isn't. It's not only morally reprehensible to do, but it's illogical to do, which you try to defend later on, but that's my retort. Next.
Most people would make the absolute broad generalization that any kid that is below the age of 12 are not able to consent to sex. But then one day, a 42-year-old adult comes along and says that while he was 10 years old, he had a perfectly consensual sexual relationship with a 30-year-old adult. 10-year-old him was not traumatized afterwards, the relationship was perfectly fine and consensual, and both of them enjoyed the sexual relationship.
Okay, and what does that matter? It's still illegal to do in America, my friend. The age of consent is around 16 to 18 years of age. This is an extreme age gap that targets underage children who don't fully understand the ramifications of a sexual relationship, or any romantic relationship for that matter. So your appeal to emotion kind of breaks down here. Like you say they both enjoyed it. Okay, so what if both enjoyed it? Like, okay, this 10-year-old enjoyed smoking or enjoyed doing drugs. Does that make it to where it's acceptable for them to now do those things? Absolutely not. So why in the ever-loving fuck would you involve them in sexual activity, especially when talking about an adult here? You know, two teens, one 17, one 18, whatever, that's completely different. But no, here, there's a clear problem with that behavior.
So do you think that that kind of relationship should not happen? That just because the child was below 18, that relationship that was perfectly harmless should be considered child rape? No! That's absolutely ridiculous.
No, what's ridiculous is the fact that you think it was harmless. You don't fucking know. Psychologically, it scars children. It's mentally damaging to them. Not only that, but physically, it can harm them as well. It's called developing. So you saying it was overall harmless is bullshit. It was still harmful. It was still not okay to do.
Nobody was harmed. And this is not a fantasy story that I just pulled out of my ass. There are numerous stories of children below the age of 12 who have had mutually beneficial relationships, sexual relationships, with adults. So if you agree that that kind of relationship should be completely fine and legal, then you should also agree that every relationship between a child and an adult is alright as long as it involves consent.
Pedophilia has existed for a long time in a lot of cultures. I'd still say it's wrong of them to do. Our culture, our melting pot society, has condemned it for good reason, because certain people who advocate for this nonsense, like you, like assuming that what you're doing with them is okay, but you think they can say yes to you simply for nodding their head or saying yes. Oh, hey, this person's drunk and I asked them if they wanted to have sex and they said yes. So according to your logic, it's fine, right? Oh, wait, no, it isn't, because not only are you taking advantage of another human who is lacking in brain functionality, but you're manipulating them to get something out of it that ultimately benefits you. But go ahead, I guess, with your stupid fucking points that make no sense.
Let's continue. Now, I'm absolutely certain that we should not discriminate against pedophiles. Our society's treatment of pedophiles is inhumane and horrendous. Oh my gosh. A pedophile is simply defined as an individual who has a sexual attraction to children. That's it. It doesn't mean he's going to molest children. It doesn't even mean he's going to act upon his sexual urges. All he has is the non-violent sexual attraction to children.
Okay, and so what? Let's not mention that, yes, it is violent because kids are still developing. You don't think a grown 40-year-old man or woman is going to hurt a kid that's fucking 12 and under? So that point is stupid. Not only that, but parents do not want other adults who may be sexually interested in their child or children around them. Because most of the time, it's unbeknownst to the parents. They find out after the fact. So these children you're talking about cannot and should not be able to make those kinds of decisions, especially when the pedophile is the one pushing it, pursuing it, diluting that child's mind and lying to them, acting like it's okay and normal. It's an authority figure manipulating the situation. I mean, come on, fucking common sense here. Give me a break.
If you have the desire to rape children, then yeah, that's bad. But most pedophiles, like most people, do not want child abuse. Most pedophiles and people in NAMBLA absolutely condemn rape and child abuse.
Well, good to know they condemn that basic fucking fact, but you seem to not understand that the mere action in and of itself results in that and results in dangerous consequences, yes? Especially when you yourself go as far as to say babies can consent. I repeat, this 19-year-old boy thinks that babies can consent. You're retarded, right? Like, that's the gimmick you're going with? Because that has to be a new low of stupid.
Whether you were biologically born with that sexual orientation or you were influenced by your surroundings, if you just have the desire to have a perfectly consensual sexual relationship with a child, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Except for the part that, I don't know where the consent part comes in, because children cannot consent. If you are not between the ages of 16 to 18 and above, then you cannot consent to shit, period. Children's brains are still developing. You lack that basic fucking grasp on science. Because I know I'm not the first to bring up that most basic concept to you. I can't understand how that eludes you or how you can deny it wholeheartedly.
And pedophiles, like the LGBT community, seem to exist in very significant numbers in society.
What? Did you really just compare pedophilia with the LGBT community? Oh my god. Wow, okay. Well, they're not the same thing, like, at all. Homosexuals are pursuing relationships with people of the same sex. Age and sex are two complete different fucking things. If they want to seek a relationship with someone of the same sex, that's legal age, I don't care. That's perfectly fine. But when the person they are seeking is a child, same sex or not, no, that's when it isn't okay. Because Amos, children lack basic common understanding of things. Children cannot go get jobs. Children cannot vote. Children cannot drive. They can't drink. They can't smoke. There's a lot of things kids can't fucking do just yet. Why would you think they can consent to sex? Seriously, your logic is severely flawed here.
Why should we immediately discriminate against such a huge group of people, say that they are scum and they should be imprisoned when they have done absolutely nothing wrong?
You call it discrimination, but the people, society, has set a standard that this is wrong. The majority, the vast majority of Americans have spoken on it. You're trying to defend a minority here that really, I don't care what they want. You seem to have all this empathy for the pedophiles in the situation. It's not about what they want. It's about what's best for the common good of the people, and that includes not allowing everyone to do whatever it is they well please. You really think it's so unreasonable that parents don't want their children to have a sexual relationship with an older person at such a young age? They are the legal guardian. They are the parent. They have final authority over the offspring at that age. You know what, Amos? I'll give you an analogy here. Don't know if anyone else has really said this to you, but it's a pretty simple one. This would be like you saying a fish consented to being caught and eaten by a fisherman because it went for the worm. See what I'm saying here? How the fuck does that make any sense, Amos?
There are people who realize that they have a sexual attraction to children, but since society discriminates against pedophiles so much, these people contemplate suicide. There are even stories in the US where adults apply electroshock therapy to boys as young as 12 who think that they have a sexual attraction to children. Like, what the fuck?
Okay, well, I don't agree with electroshock therapy. I can't control what other people's sexual wants and desires are. All I ask is for you to control yourself, to not break the law. Understand the ramifications of it. These are grown-ass adults you're talking about with fully developed brains. I don't think we're asking too much of them. Stop painting it as if they're the victims. They are not.
I do not want to live in a society where we condone this kind of discrimination and hostility towards a group of people who have done absolutely nothing wrong. This is vile. This is absolutely horrible. If a child and an adult have consensual sex, they both film it, and they both agree that it's fine for the footage to be on the internet, there's absolutely nothing wrong done. Why should it be illegal?
Do you really need clarification on why that's wrong? Seriously? What the fucking shit? How can you seriously take a position like this? You know what you said earlier?
This is vile. This is absolutely horrible.
Yeah, that's more applicable to you, really, when you get to the fucking root of it.
In the US, for producing child porn, an adult gets a minimum of 15 years in prison and a maximum of 30. That is fucking insane.
Yeah, I know. If anything, it should be much higher. Oh, wait, no, that's not what... Oh, I see, Amos. I see. You think they're giving too much prison time. Okay, I see what you did there. Jesus fucking Christ.
Even worse is most countries criminalize simply possessing child pornography. Possessing child pornography, a completely non-violent act, whether you viewed it based on sexual attraction or non-sexual curiosity, in the US, you get a minimum of 5 years in prison and a maximum of 15. What the fuck? And even if I gave you the benefit of the doubt and said that, okay, all child sex is rape, and so all child pornography is essentially footage of rape, is it wrong to upload or view footage of child rape? No!
What? So if you knowingly watch somebody get raped legitimately for sexual pleasure, apparently that's okay according to Amos. Now, really, do I need to explain why that isn't okay to do? Like, no, those laws are in place for a good reason. I don't get how you can find that to be so unreasonable. This video is so cringy, so bad, and so fucked up.
Now, people might argue that the reason why footage of child porn or child rape should be banned is because having it on the internet would promote such behavior. However, the fact is, there really is no evidence that there's a link between watching violent footage and an increase in violent crimes. And if there is, please show it to me.
Like, what we're talking about is potentiality, and you seem to just be ignoring that and are not caring. Maybe just for a second, instead of putting yourself in the pedophile shoes, maybe look at it from, I don't know, the child, the parent, the people. I mean, you've been shown countless studies of which you deny outright on how it affects them psychologically when they grow up. The mental damage it can do, you don't care though, because you're trying to help out the pedophiles in the situation. You don't care about the kids.
It's kind of like the people who say that having the death penalty helps reduce crime, or banning violent movies helps reduce violence. Like, it seems like there would be a logical connection, but the fact is, there's absolutely no evidence to show that there is a connection.
Amos, these children are being raped. They are being molested. How the fuck can you say there is no harm here? People watching actual children being groped into something that's inappropriate on so many levels. You want to say that's okay to do? Those examples are not the same as this. When you get to the core of it, it's like comparing apples and oranges.
Uploading and watching footage of real violence should not be illegal. Similar to how you should not be sent to prison if you see footage of a reporter getting beheaded by a Muslim. It doesn't mean you want to conduct violence when you watch footage of real violence. It just means that you might have a curiosity at how horrible human beings can be.
But what about the person who uploaded it? What about the person who participated in it? See, the person getting beheaded didn't consent to being beheaded, okay? Like, you're a fucking idiot. I'm sorry, but holy shit, no, why am I apologizing to you? You're clearly in the wrong here.
Bottom line, producing and uploading footage of child porn should be absolutely fine and legal. If you want to upload and possess footage of child rape, that should be fine too. Punish the guy who actually raped the kid.
Holy shit, this right here, what can I say to that? How do you even respond to that? I'm almost fucking speechless.
Many people are willing to reduce the age of consent to whatever subjective opinion they have on how much brain development a child should have before they are capable of consenting to sex, whether that age be 12, 13, or 14. Now, I would argue and ask, why do you think that kids and babies aren't able to consent to sex?
Just like you said, their brains haven't developed properly, and neither has yours, fucking clearly, because your brain doesn't fully develop until 25 or so. Babies cannot consent because babies cannot even fully form coherent sentences or even know what's going on with their surroundings, let alone sex. So, any more stupid fucking questions?
Babies consent to sucking their thumb, to sleeping, to choosing the fire truck over the Hello Kitty during play. They are perfectly able to show approval right when they're born.
Ah, I see. So if I dangle keys in front of an infant, clearly they want to drive the car, right? And I should just let them, yeah? My God, I know you're doing this as a way to seek attention, and bravo, I guess you've succeeded, but you can't really believe this shit. And if you actually do, you are a moron.
If a baby is curious about a man's genitals and he comes over and plays with it, that is a sexual act. But that is completely fine and harmless. Why should there be a problem with that?
Because that baby is being manipulated by that adult, because they're the ones trying to force themselves upon a toddler who knows nothing of what they are doing and why they are doing it. This is so dumb. This fucking conversation is so dumb and so uncomfortable.
So I disagree that babies and kids aren't able to consent to sex. But even if I give it to you that, okay, all children below the age of 12 aren't able to consent to sex, does that mean that we should just reduce the age of consent to 12 and not eliminate age of consent laws entirely? No! You see, and this is where the pretty nuanced thinking comes in, so brace your brains. There is a clear distinction between a person who is able to consent and the ability to be allowed to engage in consensual acts. A child is not able to consent to sex below the age of 12, but say the impossibility happens and an 11-year-old consents to sex. Is that fine? Absolutely.
No, it isn't, because the law says it isn't, so I don't care if at 11 they consent. They are not the proper age to conduct in that behavior, so I don't give a fuck. Children don't have the same rights as adults do, so why the fuck would we give them any sexual freedom at that age? I don't care what they want, that's irrelevant. It's what's best for the fucking child, you fool. Also, consent and curiosity are two different things. Stop acting like they're the same.
Furthermore, if an adult has non-consensual sex with a 11-year-old child, eliminating age of consent laws would not let the adult get away because there are already rape laws. So there is absolutely no logical connection that eliminating age of consent laws would increase sexual violence, because there will still be rape laws to protect children from abuse.
Pedophiles are not common. We don't need to cater to what they want, but completely abolishing those laws will make it worse, guaranteed. Your solution is sheer nonsense, and I get that you're an anarchist, which labels himself as an anarchist, but you make them look really bad, you really do. Don't participate in our society if you don't like what our culture wants. You illegally coming here seeking asylum from Singapore is one thing, but I find it so odd you then bitch and complain about this odd specific subject. I really do. Makes me a little suspicious.
If you cite anecdotes of children who, at ages 9 or 10, had sex with an adult and then became traumatized their whole life, or predatory behavior where they were manipulated into a sexual act, those are incidents of child abuse and child rape. It is absolutely different from a consensual, harmless relationship between a pedophile and a child.
No, it's not. Sorry, but it is, because the pedophile is twisting and warping the viewpoint of said child that doesn't fully grasp the situation. They are not fully aware. So no, but that's not how it works, Amos. You're literally having to do mental gymnastics to try and make these points come even close to being valid, which, newsflash, really aren't. I'm getting kind of tired of having to repeat the same point to you, because it's almost like it's not getting through your thick skull.
What age of consent laws for sex do is simply restrict mutually beneficial sexual relationships between a child and an adult. Lowering the age of consent laws is not enough. If you lower the age of consent law to 10 and then a 9-year-old comes along and says, I have had sex with an adult and I was perfectly fine with it, do you think that that adult should go to prison? No.
Yes, because they broke the law. They knowingly broke the fucking law. So, yeah, they should be sentenced to prison for that very specific law they broke.
It was perfectly harmless and both of them benefited.
Both of them benefited, huh? Oh, except, the parents of the child, they didn't consent to that because I can safely tell you, Amos, most if not all parents will and would not have their child, an underage child, a toddler, a baby, they would not allow them to do that. And if someone wants to impede themselves onto their lives, their family, this older person who knowingly withholds knowledge from a child, all in a desperate attempt to have a sexual relationship with them, regardless of the child's permission, because child consent doesn't matter at the end, that's why it can't happen, stupid.
You think he should go to prison? That is insane.
Ah yes, us sensible ones are insane, whilst you and your pedophile friends you so strongly defend are clear-minded, of course. Yeah, we're the bad guys because we're not letting you get your rocks off with other people's kids. Therefore, we're discriminating. Fuck off with that shit. Utter foolishness from an asinine person.
Look, I'm not a pedophile. I don't have a sexual attraction to children. I do not possess child pornography. I do not even know how to find child pornography. What I am concerned about is society fucking over a group of people who have done absolutely nothing wrong and falsely accusing them of being child molesters and child rapists.
You just admitted earlier uploading rape is okay. So, yeah, we're going to condemn them as rapists because that's what they fucking did, was molest and abuse children. You don't see that because you don't give a fuck about the kid. You say you're not a pedophile, but if it turned out you actually were, I wouldn't be surprised. Not saying you are, of course, but still.
It's so obvious to me to not discriminate against a group of people who are absolutely harmless, similar to how we should not discriminate against gay, transgender, or black people.
What makes you think they're harmless? You keep saying it's harmless, but you yourself don't even fully fucking know that for sure. Never mind by default, it's harmful. So why are you confidently using the word harmless as if it isn't obvious or equivocating it to make it seem like you're coming across with some kind of actual point when, in reality, your entire position breaks down?
But just because it concerns pedophiles, a far more discriminated community than the LGBT community in our current society, I just think that my stance on this issue is just very ahead of its time.
Oh yes, ahead of its time. Even though pedophilia existed for years and years and years, we want to end that because no good comes from it. You may want to try and find some sort of shitty silver lining or try to come up with a compromise to this, but no, you can't. And you willing to risk these children in the process makes me fucking sick.
But I guess only time will tell. Many of you after watching this video would probably still disagree with me, in which case leave a comment down below or even make an entire video response if you want to. Maybe in a future video I'll respond to all your counter arguments. I hope we can all have a nice civil debate on whether or not we should discriminate against pedophiles without accusing anyone of being a child rapist or a child molester. Take care.
Oh my god, that was a video. We certainly had a civilized chat about that, didn't we? Well, no surprise is that this video was met with a lot of negativity. What? You don't say. 8,000 dislikes? Yup, that'll do it. And since this video, he's uploaded 2 videos about the subject, went on live streams, and had response videos up the ass, talking about how ridiculous the shit he said was. Many have refuted him and spread the word about this video. The second video about pedophilia he uploaded was almost like a PSA for pedophiles. Okay, that's basically the gist of that video, and the most recent video he's uploaded is a response to all the criticism and hate he's been getting as of late. So let's go ahead and see what shit lies beneath this train wreck of a video.
After sharing my pro-pedophilia views online, my Twitter account has been permanently suspended after being flagged by huge amounts of people. If you look at the comments section of my recent videos on pedophilia, you'd obviously notice hundreds, maybe thousands of comments calling for my videos and channel to be removed, threatening me with the FBI, saying I should get deported, imprisoned, and even killed. What the fuck is this? This looks like the comment section from brainwashed Singaporeans in my anti-Singapore government video, or Muslims in my anti-Islam video. And the audience in the West that watched my videos on pedophilia is not the insane religious right or the inarticulate Texas redneck. These are the skeptic viewers that were attracted by my anti-religious videos directed from channels like Logic or Sargon of Akkad.
Well, yes, a lot of skeptics have talked about your video and covered it because it's fucking insane and absurd. There was good reason for a lot of the backlash. Now, I won't go as far as to say I condone death threats towards anybody. However, take some accountability for what you said. You knew that what you were saying would set off people. You knew what you were doing.
This community that is flagging my videos and sending me death threats is the community that fervently promotes logic, free speech, and a civilized battle of ideas. What is this hypocrisy?
It's not hypocrisy. Just as you are allowed to give your opinion and are free to say what you wish, others can as well. That doesn't mean people now have to listen, doesn't mean people have to engage in it, but if they do, be prepared to endure the public opinion. But now here we go, where you're going to start boo-hooing and bitching because, aw, people think my opinion is stupid and wrong. Well, I guess instead of rethinking your arguments and viewpoints, let's watch a 7-minute long video about you telling us how wrong everyone is.
Now, I'd like to preface this by saying that although I've had numerous calls for my videos to be removed, it doesn't necessarily mean that majority of the skeptic community wants me to be deplatformed. Whether or not majority of the YouTube skeptic community thinks that I should be censored or sent to prison for my views on pedophilia, I have absolutely no idea. But what I do know is that the people calling for my channel to be removed exist in very significant numbers from this community. This kind of absolutely disgusting and savage response to a person whose opinions you disagree with, even if it was to actual murderers and rapists, I would outright condemn. No matter how horrible a person can be, how would you think that it is appropriate a response to threaten harm on them?
Okay, I agree in some way that people shouldn't be sending death threats, although again, don't act like you didn't cause this or had your grubby hands involved. You did, and now you're going to try and take a high road, condemning others because of how they reacted when you don't see how you did this to yourself? Again, doesn't want to take accountability and instead wants to keep pushing this argument.
Which is why it's even more appalling that this kind of reaction is done to me. As much as you like to misrepresent my views on pedophilia, the fact is, I do not promote sexual abuse or violence towards anyone. My opinions on pedophilia is a completely non-violent opinion.
Yeah, but the end result of your opinion and how you want things to go will definitely lead to more children being put in harm's way. And you willingly ignore that and the people telling you otherwise because you want to pretend it isn't valid when all the evidence suggests otherwise. So while you claim your opinion is non-violent, your solutions will lead to harm and violence.
Of course, most of you would have heard that I was originally planned to give a talk at Harvard. But Harvard, because of just that one single opinion on child pornography that I made that they disagreed with, they canceled the talk. I wasn't even going to talk about child pornography during that speech.
You know, I'm actually really glad you're not speaking at Harvard, only just to spite you because you do deserve it. Plus, they invited you. They can easily uninvite you or cancel the event if they so please, but go on, please complain some more about how the world is against you.
And further context, these supposedly pro-free speech students from the Harvard Open Campus Initiative, who I assume are mostly liberal, gave a platform months ago to a right-wing white supremacist for an open discussion with students. These mostly liberal Harvard students, I assume, would disagree with far more than the white supremacists than me. But just because it's more socially acceptable to platform a white supremacist instead of somebody who has pro-pedophile opinions, these people from Harvard are slaves to conformity. Pro-free speech, my fucking ass.
What a fucking brat, seriously. Yeah, boo-hoo, you didn't get to go speak at Harvard, yet your YouTube videos I see are still going up, so it's more of they don't want to listen to what you have to say. You're still free to say it, no one's stopping you, but no one has to take your position seriously. No one has to take what you have to say seriously. That's them exercising their freedom of speech.
And of course, the Skeptics Convention MythCon, i.e. Mythicist Milwaukee, who initially gave me free access to the convention, but after hearing about my opinions on child porn, not only removed the free access, but outright banned me from even attending. Seriously, even passively attending the conference, I was not even allowed to do. Like, I bought the $55 ticket, I went into the conference, I saw a part of the Armored Skeptic and Shoe on Head speech, then I went for a toilet break, the organizer accidentally passed by me, and then afterwards saw me and said, I had to get out. And then he got like these big-ass security guards to escort me out of the convention. Like what the fuck is this? Like, am I back in Singapore?
I mean, you can't really help how he felt if he felt uncomfortable with you there, and if they were the organizer, then I'm sorry, but bye, there's nothing much that you can really do about that. But, oh no, I wasted $55 on a ticket, then went for a bit, and then they asked me to leave. Oh, the fucking humanity. It makes me laugh. You compare America to Singapore because of this. Like, you're the one who fled to come here illegally, again, reason why you were detained. If it's just as bad, then why are you still seeking asylum here? Like, the place you're staying at isn't yours. You told us it belonged to an American family who voluntarily took you in.
The place is comfortable enough. I'm not gonna say who I'm living with because, you know, they want to remain confidential. It is a nice, humble American family. I cannot express how fortunate I am to have their help. They provided me a free room, electricity, washing machine, everything. Very, very grateful.
Do they know of your opinion? Do they care? I'm just saying, if you have it so bad here, then why not leave? Seek asylum elsewhere. Oh, but elsewhere probably wouldn't provide that free meal ticket you already have. Gotcha.
So my Twitter account was suspended, I was deplatformed from Harvard, I am banned from a skeptics convention, and hundreds of people from the pro-free speech skeptic community is calling for my videos to be taken down and for me to be sent to prison just because of one fucking opinion that they disagree with. The skeptic community, I assume, has a far more logical and reasonable demeanor than the typical average Joe. Like, imagine if it was not the skeptic community, but the typical brainwashed American religious cunt that watched my videos on pedophilia instead. They would fucking crucify me. America, land of the free? Suck my oblong dick. This is absolute horseshit.
What, did you think you could just come over to another country and act like you could just do whatever it is you well please? Like, no shit, this isn't really the land of the free. America is very flawed. But free speech has always been debated, it's always been discussed. For someone who's been on the internet who makes money off the internet, I am dumbfounded that you're now acting so surprised about this. Oh, but you know, the skeptic community once supported you in your strife, but now the majority has spoken out in disagreement with you on something very specific. You need to paint as if though now you're being attacked. Everyone's against you for no good reason. Playing the victim card, so easy to do.
Friends, I know many of you completely disagree with my views on pedophilia, and it is a very emotionally charged topic. But if you truly value freedom of speech and freedom of expression, you have to speak up for my rights to continue sharing these opinions, and you have to condemn the people who are trying to censor me.
Amos, I am not stopping you from making videos. No one is stopping you from making videos. You're free to say whatever you please, but be aware that there can and always will be backlash. It doesn't matter what you say. You'll get shit for anything you say on the internet. But in your case, it's to a clear extreme. I'm not saying to silence you, but I am saying you're wrong and your position is wrong. Your opinion is wrong. That's why people respond to you. That's why people are talking about you. Stop pretending like you're not at fault, that you aren't the one who started this. So you gonna stop acting persecuted anytime soon?
I don't think in America I'll be sent to prison for my views on pedophilia, at least I hope not. But say I do indeed get arrested for my completely non-violent pro-pedophilia stance. Are you going to have my back? Like how you did when I was arrested for my anti-Singapore government and my anti-religious videos.
See, that's one thing that gets me, is that you're trying to appeal to the people who, at one point, supported you back then. Now you have to hark back to your old videos to appeal to them now. Your past videos you made don't have any correlation with what's happening now. Like, you can make both good and bad points. Just because you might have had some good points back then doesn't mean shit to what's happening now. Also, no one is obligated to have your back on anything, especially when it isn't the same fucking thing at all.
Are you going to condemn the people who are calling for me to be censored, banned, or even imprisoned and killed for my beliefs? If you don't want to be a hypocrite, if you want to be consistent with your beliefs, if you truly value freedom of speech and freedom of expression, you have to. And I hope you do.
Well, I don't wish for your death or want to send you to jail, but I'm not backing you up or saying you have a point. You don't. We've heard what you've had to say and it's garbage. You can continue to spout out nonsense all day long, but that's all it is at the end of the day. It's just nonsense.
And that is all, my fellow friends. If you'd like to support my videos, please consider donating via PayPal or Patreon. Links are in the description. Lost a couple of patrons on Patreon, obviously, after my pedophilia videos, because although they strongly support 95% of my content, because of one fucking opinion that they disagree with, they immediately discount all their support. Completely fucking immature.
No, what's immature is you outing them and griping about how they're not giving you money. As they're free to give you money, so too can they take it away. No one is obligated to help you, yet you want to make people feel bad to get money? Ah yes, because e-begging is certainly going to make you look better, especially when this is your response to the controversy. What a greedy little man you are. Glad to see your true colors coming out.
If you want to prove that you are better than that, please give money to Amos Yee. And yes, this e-begging is completely shameless. I do agree. I am following the footsteps of TJ Banana fucking Kirk.
No, cause TJ has never advocated for pedophilia. He's actually condemned it and criticized on how churches and religion have pedophile problems. See, I guess you're fine with priests going after young boys. Everything else with religion is bad, but I guess that part was fine, right? I mean, I'm just using your logic, and B, you're really going to make fun of him over the banana thing? Ha ha ha, wow, so funny. A fresh fucking joke you plucked right there. I get why people find you so entertaining and funny and witty. Don't you just want to support this guy and give him all your money for that fresh joke he just told that was so original and so relevant, even though he's revealed himself to be a cringy little turd? All right, it's time to start wrapping this shit up and leave with some closing thoughts, so please proceed, Amos.
And now that my Twitter is permanently suspended, if you would like to contact me, you can do so via Facebook, which my account is going to be unbanned in a couple of weeks. But if you want to contact me before that, or if my Facebook account ever gets banned again, you can email me at amosee@gmail.com. Fucking email! I have to use fucking email again. What are we, in the fucking primitive times?
Boo, you're not funny. Also, everyone has to have an email to use shit. Like, I don't even get how that's a complaint, so your fucking joke falls flat, Amos, but keep trying? Also, I don't wish to contact you because Your points have been made very clear. I've seen live streams with you, and fuck, you shoot yourself in the foot multiple times in them. As an example, just go watch Jeff Holliday's stream with Amos. It's ridiculous. Amos just keeps digging a grave for himself, doubling down on a stupid, incoherent, contradictory stance.
I can't believe I'm pushing boundaries on what America should consider free speech. I really can't stop causing trouble no matter where I go, can't I? I truly am ahead of my time. As Voltaire once said, I disapprove of what you say, but I will defend the motherfucking rights for you to say it. Take care, friends. Ah!
You're a fucking loser. You're not funny, you're not clever, you're not smart. Just, ugh, that made my skin crawl. Well, that was Amos defending himself, as you could see. His stance on a few things are very, very questionable, and you can tell he thinks he's full of himself, that he's breaking the internet because of what he said and what he thinks. It's a complete farce. He's full of shit. He's trying to stir bullshit to get people watching him, get people donating to him, acting like the poor persecuted guy he is, taking a position he knows is absurd. Aw, don't you just feel bad for him, all for one little old opinion that calls into question previous statements and positions he's made? But you get the point. He's clearly in the wrong and won't take accountability for what he said, but rather wants to challenge everyone else. Well, good luck with that, Amos. Your ass is gonna need it. I certainly do not envy you, and I certainly do not take the same positions you do, because I'm not standing with you, Amos, and plenty of other people won't as well. But with that said, I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video somewhat. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about this whole thing. What do you have to say? Thanks again for watching, and as always, I'll see all of you later in my next video.